5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Black, stop playing with it.
Welcome to the No Mistakes podcast. In life, there are no mistakes, just life lessons. And between the two of us, we got a lot of them.
A ton.
I'm your host, Let JB Day.
I'm Shakir B.
Welcome to the show, guys.
Welcome.
Shakir, what's up, my guy?
What's up, my brother? How you doing?
I'm all right. It's been a minute. What you been up to?
Oh, man, living life, daddying,
Oh, yeah, we always daddying, bro.
Yeah.
Corporate
grind. You know how
sir.
it go.
Yes, sir.
So, how about yourself?
Yeah, man, it's been a rough couple months, man.
Rough?
It's been rough, man. Between traveling and taking care of the girls are not in school right now, so they're doing like
They're running
you
your
know,
pockets.
they're running my pockets. They're doing summer activities and camp, and I'm getting ready to take them on a trip. So it's been, daddying's been daddying
For real. I got
You know
you.
what I mean? Parenting's been parenting, but I'm blessed. So
I love to hear it.
yeah, man.
That's what's up.
All right, so let's get to it, man.
What we talking about
What we
today?
talking about today? All right, let's see. I had a conversation with a friend today, and I was letting that friend know, hey, shooting a podcast today. Excited, etc., etc. And she brought up the fact, like, she said men's podcasts are toxic, and I said, what? Men's podcasts are toxic? I said, why are they toxic? And she said that sometimes we just go off the rails, get defensive. And I was like, since when is men being standing up for themselves or having an opinion about something toxic,
Hmm.
or toxic masculinity is the phrase now, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? She had brought up the fact sometimes men get too sassy. I'm like, what makes men sassy? Oh, when you guys just don't shut up and listen. Like, wow. So that makes us sassy.
I mean,
Yeah, man. I don't know how I feel
I
about that.
wish we
man.
had Danny or Carrie here.
Yeah, that would have definitely been a
chime
good
in.
topic to have one of the girls on for. You're right.
I'm gonna say this though, man. Honestly, I see it both ways.
Mhm.
Right? I think when you look on the internet today, YouTube, wherever you watch your podcasts, I think there are a lot of male-driven podcasts that are or can be considered toxic.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
However, I think there are a lot of male podcasts that teach young men how to become men, and even those will be considered sassy or
Mhm.
toxic.
Mhm.
And ultimately, I think as a man, and this is something I actually tell my guy friends, you probably heard me say it. As a man, you got to be okay with being a bad guy,
Mhm.
right? I'm not just gonna put it on women. I'm gonna say, in general in society, I think as a man, whenever you stand on something that's good, even if it's good for you,
Mhm.
you're still gonna be the bad guy. Even if you're doing something that is like beneficial to you,
Mhm.
you someone is going to look at you and be like, "You're the bad guy." So it's a metaphor, right? I'm not saying you are a bad guy, but you got to be okay with somebody not liking what you're doing
Right.
and being like, you know what, I'm okay with you not liking what I'm doing. If you think that makes me a bad guy, then I'll be
And
a
so
bad
be
guy.
it.
So that's what I'm
So be
saying.
it. Yeah. I think the whole sassy tagline that they throw on men who defend themselves. I think that started with your boy
Kevin Samuels.
Kevin Samuels. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because he had a little flair to when he would respond.
I would agree with that.
To, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So he
yeah.
had a little. So I think as a population, I think women who had a problem with some of the things he was saying saw his flair,
Yeah.
and automatically now it's kind of like it's like a
Sassy is basically if you saying something I don't like, you're sassy. If you're saying something I
That's
don't
pretty.
like,
I think that's where it started from him.
Yeah.
He said it with a little flair. So now defending yourself has become synonymous with being
being
sassy.
sassy, yeah.
I don't like it. I
You don't like
at
it?
all.
Why
At
don't you
all.
like it?
I don't know. I think that we should be able to we should be able to have our opinions without necessarily
I
being
agree.
called sassy.
I
You know what I
agree.
mean? Like we should be able to be like, oh, I really don't like this, and I really don't like that, or I feel like this, without it being, toxic or toxic masculinity. You know what I mean? But hey,
This
man,
this
mhm,
is just where we are, right? I think that as a man, again, I'm gonna say it,
mhm,
you just have to stand on your square, right? And be okay with being called sassy,
yep,
right? You
yep.
got to be like, all right, whatever. I know I'm not sassy, so, but I'm
At
gonna
the end
still
of the
say
day,
what I gotta say, and you can choose to adhere to it or not. But
mm-hmm.
either way, like I'm gonna say it,
You gonna say it?
right? So, but I do think as soon as I hear the word sassy, right, since
Mm-hmm,
that's what we're talking about,
mm-hmm.
you don't even register to me anymore.
Mhm. The
Like,
person you're speaking to no
yeah, like you
longer,
don't
whatever they
even
say is no longer valid.
because here's the thing, like as adults,
Mm.
right? If someone is expressing something to you and you don't have the capacity to really take in what they're saying and take some
Maturity.
self inventory and have a mature conversation, and the
Mhm.
only thing you can respond is say, "Oh, you sassy." All right, cool.
Yeah,
We don't need to have this conversation. It's
we
all
could
good.
we could end that
Yeah.
conversation right
So
there.
it's whatever.
Yeah, I get it. I think it's all in delivery too. It's all in the way how you deliver your rebuttal. You know what I mean? Because I do think sometimes you get a passionate dude and you're having a conversation with him. Maybe some of the things he's saying he may be saying in a passionate way might come off. So I think when you are having these discussions, I think when it's man, woman, I think delivery is very important in the way that you convey any message to anybody. To be honest with you, you know what I mean. You got to do it in a way where, hey, listen, this is my truth, but I'm gonna convey in a way that we can have an adult conversation, not argumentative, not you know what I mean, not in the sense where you guys are gonna bump heads and
Yeah.
hey, I'm gonna say this, and this is just how I feel, and whether you like it, you like it. Some people can have that conversation, some people can't. I think generally you wanna, if two adults are having a conversation, I think there's a way to make your point across without necessarily offending the other person on the other end. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
You know what? I think that's something I'm actually learning because, whew, I can tell you right now, I would say most of the time, like, I don't give a fuck how I said it. I said what I said,
Right,
right?
right.
But I think also I'm learning that when you deliver something
Hmm.
in a certain with certain wording, in a certain tone, people can receive it a little bit better.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm a military guy, right? And so coming up in the military, it was like if you did something like you fucked up, you literally had someone in your face saying you fucked up,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
You didn't get all in your feelings about it. He's like, damn, I did fuck up. I gotta go fix that,
Hmm.
right? And so I kind of came from that mindset of, listen, this is what the fuck you did. Accept it and go
Eat
fix
that.
it,
Hmm.
right? But
Hmm.
everybody doesn't respond to that.
True.
So I think I'm kind of just learning how to like deliver things in a more softer
Right.
manner.
Well, I don't even think it needs to be in a softer manner. I think just in general, I think when you as an adult, you're having a conversation with another adult, there's a way that you have a conversation with an adult up here. There's a way you have a conversation with a child,
Right.
and then there's a way you have a conversation with a hostile counterpart. So, you know, being able to determine which energy you bring in the conversation goes a long way on how that conversation is received. You know
How
what I
does
mean?
that work though? If as a man,
Mm-hmm.
how do you match energy though? Right? If your woman is like right?
Mm-hmm.
She's in your face,
Hmm.
she's being a little aggressive in her way.
Hmm.
Do you match that? Or do you
No, and that's where some people might say, "Hey, the sassy just come in," right? I don't,
uh,
I don't
well, of
match.
course you're not gonna be as a dude, you ain't gonna be like,
Right,
well, you ain't gonna
right,
do
right,
that,
right.
right? Of
Yeah.
course. But women have their way of aggression.
Mm-hmm.
Men have their way of aggression. The
Mm-hmm.
two are entirely different,
Mm-hmm.
right? Don't think that you can come to me being verbally aggressive and you're not gonna get the same thing in my way in return.
Okay.
Is what I'm saying.
All
Like,
right. I don't know. For me, I think I've been around long enough and like growing up with women in the household, you know what I'm
mm,
saying, 2 daughters, women in the household, moms, aunties, female cousins galore. I think I'm at a point where I don't match that energy. You know what I'm saying? When I have a female across from me and she's like, going off loud or just, hella attitude, I stonewall it. Like, all right, that's how you feel? All right, cool. And I think that generally pisses the other
Of
person off to
course.
the point where
Yeah.
they don't even want to have the conversation
Yeah,
with
I
you no
agree.
more. But, if I'm feeling like I need to match energy, I think my sarcasm is a way to be aggressive without being verbally aggressive or verbally
Mm,
abusive. You know what I mean? Like I can get real sarcastic in a conversation,
yeah,
and
for
then
sure.
you or passive aggressive, and you'll know I'm not feeling you in that conversation. Just
Gotcha.
my response.
Okay.
So I think like I said, I think it's just some conversations just not worth the extra
I
energy
agree.
because
So I have
it's always
learned.
gonna bite you in the ass regardless. You're always gonna be the bad guy.
Yeah,
You
I
know what I mean?
remember I remember several months ago I was hanging out with one of my boys, right? And we were talking about our relationships or
hmm
whatever. And we were both saying how when we get into arguments with our women or whatever, we go to that place. Like we're like raising our voice and da da da.
hmm
And we were like, yo, you know what? We ain't gonna do that no more. Right?
Yeah.
Man, I called him like a week later. I was like, bro, I failed already, man.
It's hard,
Yeah, it's
man.
hard,
It's
man.
hard. It's
It's hard,
hard,
bro.
yo.
It's
It's
hard.
hard. And anybody, any man that tells you he can control that or he's not the type to, yell and scream and argue, you gotta take that with a grain of salt. Because I think we
Yeah.
all have it in us that let that person say the wrong thing or touch that wrong button, you're gonna
You
shout.
out of here.
Yeah, you're gonna shout. You're gonna scream. Yeah, but I think over time, it's something that you kind of like grow to have. Like you start learning how to do it.
Yeah.
Where she could be screaming all she wants. I'm just like, yo, you know what? You got that. All right,
Yeah.
cool, whatever. If that's how you feel, or you really feel like that, what makes you feel like that? Or you think so? Oh, okay, that's funny. Just hitting them. Oh yeah, that's funny. You think? Just those type of little
You
sarcasms,
think?
You really think that's it? All right, whatever you say. But I think now, man, like it's just super important to me that like my energy, no matter who it's with, is top tier because I don't got the time to be like doing the shouting and the screaming and the yelling and the fight, raising my blood pressure, man. I can't do it. I specifically remember being in an argument, past relationship where I could feel I
Hmm.
could feel like my heart about to burst.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I could feel like I was gonna have some sort of aneurysm just the shouting and the yelling. And I had to sit in myself and think like, yo,
A lot of energy.
I could have died
A
there,
lot of
yo.
energy.
I
A
could
lot
have
of
just caught
energy.
a heart attack right there, been dead, done. And then
Listen, you exert a lot of energy when you are going back and forth with
right.
someone. But let me ask you this though.
hmm
So when you are in those situations, right, and someone is like going off at the mouth, right,
hmm
and you're like, "Oh, word, that's how you feel." Da, da, da. Is what that person says in that moment?
hmm
Do you make them wear that, or do you forgive it because they were upset?
it's levels to it, bro. It's levels to it because
Let's say they were
as an
being.
adult, you can hit below the belt, but there's some things that you say that you just can't
Let's say
take
that,
back,
let's say
bro.
the things they're saying are
Mm.
at the belt and below. Do they have to wear that, or do you understand that they said it because they were mad?
I'm gonna remind you that you said that for sure. Like that's gonna come up. Like, oh yeah, you remember when you said X, Y, and Z? Oh well, I was just upset. I was like, all right. It's still not cool. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? But I got told something that was like super below the belt, real private, and one a vulnerable moment, and it came up in the conversation, in the argument, and it
Got
was
you.
real nasty. Yo, that shit's still on my mind.
Really?
Like you that doesn't get, forgiven. You know what I mean? I let it go, but that will never like, that will never when I see your face, I remember you had so much disdain for me that you went that far below the belt to bring that up. Something I told you in confidence in my vulnerable moment in my space where I needed you
Yeah.
and this is what you bring up during the fight. So those type of things
And it's
I
totally unrelated.
totally totally unrelated. You know what I mean? Just more of like a character assassination type of
Yeah.
thing. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna tell you, without a doubt, 100%,
Mhm.
you gonna wear that.
Mhm.
And I've said it so many times on this podcast. I'm not a forgiving person.
Mhm.
Like, and you know what thing I've recently learned in the past couple months?
Mhm.
Whenever that happens,
Mhm.
I will more than likely disconnect myself from you. Right? I'm not going to open up to you. I'm not going to share my thoughts with you. Um, at that point, we might as well break up because I know myself, and I'm not ever going to open myself up to you again.
Mhm.
I don't care if you're upset or not.
Mhm.
Listen, I may be upset.
Mhm.
I may raise my voice. I may whatever.
Mhm.
There's still something in my mind where I'm like, all right, you upset, but don't say that.
Don't say that.
And when a person doesn't have that for you,
Mhm.
that person is not the person for you.
I could
So
respect that for
I'm
sure.
100% making you. I'm gonna make you wear that.
Mhm. Mhm.
100%.
Yeah, man.
So
It's tough, bro. It's tough. But I think as we grow and as we mature, bro, it's like pick your battles. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
It's like
You
pick your
got to pick your battles for
battles.
sure.
Pick the energy that you want to deal with. You know what I mean? So, some conversations, bro, as much as you wanna get rah rah and bark and scream and yell and let the veins pop up in there. Some conversations is just not worth it, bro. Just not
Yeah,
worth it. Like I said, I remember just being in a space where the yelling and the shouting was so bad and the screaming. And I thought to myself, man, I could, like, people have dropped dead for less. I could drop dead
Mhm.
here off of an argument
Mhm.
about
Mhm.
not nothing. And then what? My daughter's gonna be without me. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? My kids gonna be without over some nonsense. So now, man, like it's certain conversations I don't even entertain. Like, all right, if
Right.
that's how you feel, cool. Say less. You know what I'm saying? My fallback game is real strong.
Got
You know what
you.
I'm saying? That's with like relationships, friends. Sad to say, sometimes there's family members that don't have your best interests at heart.
For sure.
So my fallback game is strong. Like I get in a space where once I identify that you're not a good person to have in my space,
Mhm.
or our chemistries don't mix to the point where it's toxic, I walk away.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Like I'm good on that because
I agree.
life is too short, bro. I don't got time for this.
Listen, that
Whatever you
is
think about me, whatever you think about me, you right.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? You right. Whatever you feel about me,
yeah.
you are right. You got that. That's how that's what that's just summation of
Mhm.
me. Cool. I don't
You're
got
right.
time to like convince
Take care of
anybody
yourself.
otherwise. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
We're gonna have to circle back to that and
yeah.
bring Carrie or Danny
Oh,
back
we
on
definitely gonna have to
because
bring
we,
that
we
up.
need to get to the bottom of this
Yeah,
sassy
for sure, for sure, for sure.
attack on men nowadays.
Got you.
What else we got?
Yeah. So that conversation led into whether it led into whether exes should still be like friends with, like, let's say you were dating somebody, right? You were dating somebody and you bring them around the circle, you bring them around the friends, everybody's exchanging numbers, they all go out with each other, they all hang out, and then now you done broke up.
hmm
Now you're not with the said girl anymore or said guy anymore or whoever, right? And there's an expectation of you can't you shouldn't be friends with you're my friend. You shouldn't be friends with him or her anymore. You know what I mean? How do you feel about that? You know what I mean? Like, what's your take? Because I'll give you my
All
take. I'll
right, go
give you
ahead.
my take.
I'm gonna let you go first.
My
I think
take
your
is
take gonna be
this.
a little bit more decent than mine.
My take on it is, hey, listen, there's levels to everything. I feel like there's levels to everything in
hmm
life, right? And I feel like
This episode was brought to you by the Tessier Collection. Hair and skincare curated and sophisticated.
depending on y'all relationship
hmm
and depending on our relationship, how did I begin to know you? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? How did I begin to know her? Was she my friend or she was my girlfriend's friend?
hmm
Or was she just an acquaintance that I started to get cool with? And then now me and you have built something, right?
hmm
Me and you are working together. We're doing X, Y, and Z. Do I not speak to you now because you and her are not together?
Right.
Or can I still maintain a friendship with her and a friendship with you?
hmm
You know what I mean? I personally feel like I could still maintain a friendship with you without the lines getting blurred with her. You know what I mean? I feel like you and I can still be boys, still hang out without it getting weird for her, right? Because there's certain things like you don't need to come around to every event.
Of course.
And we don't need to share every personal freaking moment that happens. You know, sometimes boys could just be boys, go grab a drink, laugh, kiki, have a ha. You know what I'm saying? And then it be that. You know what I'm saying? But then I can still be friends with her because hey, you in a different sphere of my life. So I could be friends with you and we could still be cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But there's some people that's just like, no, I'm not with him no more. I'm not with her no more. You can't be friends at all. So like, how do you feel about it?
So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna
Nice,
say,
Shakir. Do your thing. Do your thing.
I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna say, it's not in your fucking control. Period. Point blank and period. Because at the end of the day, when I think about myself, right,
Mhm.
I'm not just befriending every guy I come across.
Right.
Right. I've met friends, boyfriends, and husbands, and that don't mean I made everyone my friend. If I build a friendship, a bond, a trust with a guy, and he just so happens to be my girl's best friend's boyfriend or husband, now we built a friendship completely outside of that.
Right.
That's just what it is. You don't have a say over that anymore, right? And I think that for someone to expect someone to stop being friends because you two are no longer together, it's just selfish and immature. Because you're not. Here's the thing: you're not losing anything, right? You're that friend is still your friend, but there's another friendship over here, and you're right. The lines don't have to be blurred. I can kind of understand, like, to some degree, maybe having that person orbiting to some effect, some degree at some point in time, where a guy or girl might just be like, man, I just want to forget her. Or I just want to forget him entirely, right? I can understand that.
I can understand that too.
Yeah, but at the same time, there's a difference between like a true friendship that was formed versus like a fake friendship that was right. And I'm gonna say for men, when like I don't really fuck with that like that. I was like kicking it with them because that was like my girls, man. So losing the friendship, I'm cool with it. Right, guys know when it's real and when it's not.
Facts.
So I think it depends, but for the most part, I think that if it's a true friendship, it is out of your control and you have no say. Period.
Right. And you just gotta be cool with that.
For sure.
You know what I mean? You just gotta be cool with that. Not all relationships last forever, not all friendships last forever, but you don't have to be on a controlling aspect of it where, hey, you can't be friends with this person now. But like you said, I understand to a degree where if you're in that healing process, you don't want to see this person come around all the time because you're trying to heal, you're trying to like get better. So I get that part. But there's also like a fine line of when does it become healing versus controlling? You know what I mean? Like when are you controlling the issues versus you healing from this? You know what I mean? Because if we got a cool friendship and we building, we bonding, we got business together, we got X, Y, and Z together, we doing whatever. I'm gonna still handle that with my boy because we boys now, right?
Right.
But you can still be my friend. You can still, you're still my friend anyway. I've known you for X amount of years, but now me and him, we got business together. I don't need to bring him around. He don't need to come around. That's not gonna bother you. But you can't expect me to just be like, oh no, I can't be friends with you. Zero. But I feel like it's different for I don't know why I feel like it's different for women. I feel like women could shut that down a lot easier than dudes can.
Here's the thing though. Here's why I feel women, and this is just my opinion, ladies, please don't kill me. The reason why I feel like women can shut it down easily is because women befriend women so easily. We're like, oh my God, you like to paint? I like painting too. Let's go paint. Oh my God, this is my new friend.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like they befriend each other so easy.
Right.
Yo, guys, it's like, yo, what's up?
Yeah, I got my eye on you for a minute. Like,
what
kind of person are you? First,
by like the fourth meeting, then you get to like, yo, what's up? So what's up, bro? What you do?
Right.
Like, it takes a while for guys to build a friendship with each other. Where girls is kind of like, hey, girl, where you from? And da-da-da. Like they just start yapping, and then next thing you know, by the end of the night, it's like, oh yeah, she my new bestie. Like, your new bestie, like, right? So when it's time to cut it off, you could do it because it wasn't really built on
Right,
anything,
right.
right? So that's why I think women
Okay.
can cut it
All
off
right.
a lot easier than
I
guys.
like that.
Yeah,
Good response. Yeah, man.
that's my opinion. Yeah. Hopefully, don't kill me in the comment sections. Please don't kill me.
I mean, we're gonna get some comments, but it's all right. This is what we're here for.
It
You know
is
what I
what it
mean?
is, man.
So, how long after a breakup do you think you should like? How long after a breakup do you think it's like acceptable to date without offending the person that you was just with?
What?
Yeah.
What? Man,
What do you
fuck your
think?
ex. Like,
Oh,
what we talking about? Like, for real, what we talking about? And here's why I'm taking that position.
yeah.
Why are you my ex?
Mm,
Why are you my
you
ex?
an ex for a reason,
Apparently, especially if someone let's say I ended the relationship,
right?
right? Why did I end that relationship? Apparently, I had a reason to end it.
Mhm.
And with me, I can tell you right now, if I end a relationship, that person will never be able to say I never saw this coming. We've had dozens of conversations about it, and you
Mhm.
chose not to do anything about it. So now that I got to a place where I'm like, we got to go our separate ways, I'm supposed to have some type of discernment or respect
Mhm.
to do what? Not move on?
Mm. Alright.
Nah, fuck that.
Alright, so
Nah,
no time level.
nah.
It's just
You should have did what you had to do when you had it,
and it wouldn't have been a
and
breakup
we wouldn't even be here at all.
situation. I could dig it.
Nah,
I
bro.
could dig it. I had one of my coworkers, I was speaking to, and she was like, being from a male perspective, she wanted a male perspective. She was like, "Hey, what do you think?" And she was dating this guy years and years and like 12 years ago. She was dating this guy. They broke up for whatever the case is, and then she started dating somebody else. And that relationship lasted a couple years, but then it ended. But
Hmm.
when that ended, the person she was dating years ago started coming back around, and she likes him, and they kicking it, but she doesn't want to be out in public with him like that, and she's like, just like, real careful on where they go and what they do. And I asked her, I was
Nah,
like, why do you feel like you need to do that? You feel like you owe your ex, that you feel like you owe him like a time
a
period, like a
buffer.
grieving period or something.
Yeah,
She was like, well, yeah, I kind of do. I said, well, why? She was like, well, what if he sees me out with him and think I was messing with him the whole time? And I was like, well, I get it, fair point, but were you doing something in a relationship that made him feel like you were this,
right.
not trustworthy or whatever the case is? And she was like, no, I truly didn't start talking to this guy till after we were done. I was like, it was like, fuck it, just
I feel like
date who you need to date, be happy.
I feel like this. For anyone, for you to feel, I can understand someone feeling some type of way when you see your ex out the next week and they're
Hmm.
with someone else, right? I can
Hmm.
understand it.
Hmm.
But I'm also going to say most of the time that feeling is grounded in I know I fucked up and I hate the fact that I fucked up,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
right? So now I'm going to act out and make it look like, damn, I'm really mad you here with someone else. But the real issue is I know I fucked up and it hurts to see you with someone else.
Hmm. Hmm.
But I'm about to act out right now. That's where it's really grounded in.
Mm,
In my opinion, that's where
yeah.
it's really
So it's
grounded
not
in.
even
So
about the other person.
not
It's
even about the other person.
yeah.
Because here's the thing: why is that? Why is your girl
Mm,
with another dude in the first place?
mm,
Why? Why is your guy with another woman in the first place?
mhm, mhm,
Right? Obviously, that guy or that girl didn't do what they were supposed to do
mhm,
while they had the relationship. So don't, when you have it, take it for granted,
mhm.
shit on it, disrespect it, right? And now that it's over, be like, well, have respect for me and nah, the fuck out of here. No,
Yeah,
no.
no, I agree with that. I agree with that. Sometimes you definitely want to be in a space where you just like f you. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I agree. I don't know if there needs to be a time buffer, between your breakup and you moving on.
Yeah,
I
it is
think
what it
I
is.
think mentally and like emotionally,
You should give
you
yourself
should
some
give
time.
yourself
I
a
agree with that.
buffer time, like a grieving period, a buffer time. Take time to kind of like get your stuff together. I definitely
Uh,
agree with that. You know what I
that
mean?
looks.
But
I think even that can look like it was expedited. Like someone can move on in an expeditious manner if because there's like in my opinion, breakups are a build up. Right? It's not just like, oh, we were great.
Right. And then
I
all of a
just
sudden broke
woke up
up.
one day and now
Yeah.
I don't. It very rarely happens like that. Rarely happens like that, right?
Mhm.
There's typically like a build up period
Mhm.
where you're like, you know what, we fighting a lot, we arguing a lot, or his or her behavior has changed, or his or her commitment to the relationship. Like there's a build up to the point where you get to the breakup and you're just like, man, this shit should have happened X amount
Recently.
of time ago,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? And now you're not feeling the effects of it really because you're so
You've already been
fed up with
feeling
it.
the effects
Yeah,
of it
like
for a
so
while.
it can look different for certain people
Yeah.
in certain situations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of times when you finally break up, it was over for a while anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
So
what I'm
it's been
saying. Yeah.
over for a while mentally and emotionally for you. So by the time you start dealing with somebody else, it may seem like it happened fast, but
Hmm.
it was over a
Right.
while ago anyway.
Right.
So yeah, no, I agree with that.
So
I agree with
I
that.
think it depends. It looks. I do think that if someone wants to allow that time period though,
Hmm.
out of respect for their partner,
Hmm.
go for it.
Hmm.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Like if my friend was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna date anyone else out of respect for her,"
Yeah.
I don't think I would knock it at all whatsoever. I think I would, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Whatever. So it's
I
different for
agree.
everybody.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I had this conversation where you know, I had this conversation with the same person, and it was like it was a question about that her ex's, character. Everybody was like, why you break up with him? He's so great. He's so this. He's so that. And she was just like, man, people just don't know. They saw him and thought he was such a great guy, but being in a relationship with him was hard, was tough. He wasn't a great guy in a relationship. He was a great guy outside, but in a
Hmm.
relationship, he wasn't a great guy. And that made me think, like, yo, that happens a lot, man.
Hmm.
That happens a lot where you could be, whether you're married or you're in a relationship and everybody looks at your partner, your
Right.
spouse, like they're so great, they're so funny, oh, we love her, she's been around forever, and they're mad at you because you moved on,
Right.
but they're not the ones in a relationship, they're not
Yeah.
the ones living with the
Exactly.
person.
Exactly.
They're not the ones living with the person. They're not the ones dealing with the arguments and the toxic shit and the bickering and the all the nights that you're just upset and no intimacy. You know what I mean? Like people got to take that into account. Like, listen, you don't know what
Yeah.
it's like to be with this person. You
Exactly.
know what it's like to be that person's friend, but you
Exactly.
don't know how it is to be in an active relationship with
Right.
this person. So if you see me make the moves I'm making, you gotta understand it's for a
For a
reason.
reason.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Nobody walks in your shoes. So I felt her on that, and I was like, damn, that's real.
I
You know what I
actually
mean?
had previously I was in a relationship and a young lady said to me, we were arguing about something and she was like flat out dead wrong, right? And she goes, to validate her behavior, she said, "Yeah, but my friends think this about me." And I said, "I don't give a fuck what your friends are talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Your friends aren't in a romantic relationship with you, right?
Facts.
If someone asks my mom, 'Oh, tell me about your son,' I'm like heaven on earth, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you ask a girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
she may have some good things to say, but she gonna have some other things to say too,
Right.
right?
Right.
So people act different in different types of relationships. And I think that when you are talking to your friend, your sister, your brother, whoever, you can't put and naturally what we all do is we ride for our person, right? Like if it's our boy,
Mm-hmm.
then we're riding for our boy. Whatever he say
Mm-hmm.
happened, that's what
That's what
happened, and that's
happened.
it, right?
If it's the girls group,
Exactly. If it's
they
the
riding
they
for her.
riding
You
for
know what I
her,
mean?
right? But I think that you do have to sometimes be like, I need to take a step back and
Right.
look at this like objectively and not look
Cause
at
cause
her
a
as
lot
a
of times
friend or
they
look at
know.
him as my boy
Correct.
because I've never been in that type of relationship with them. So I don't
Right.
know how they behave
Right.
in that type of
Right.
relationship,
Right.
right?
Right.
So yeah, man, I think that's a very slippery slope. And I think that the best course of action when that happens for a friend is just be like, not to down the ex,
Mm-hmm.
but just to be like, all right, well, I'm your friend. I'm here, whatever you need,
Right.
right? Because
Right.
the minute you start like taking in everything your boy or your girl is saying, then that person is just the worst person in the world.
Right. And that's why
So
they say you gotta be careful when you having problems in your relationship. You shouldn't go to your friends
Right.
and, you know, give all the details all the time, because a lot of times they start formulating opinions about that said
Right.
person, and now, you know, by the time y'all break up, this guy's the worst person in the world. But
Exactly.
you already ready to get back with him. You ready to be,
Ooh.
you ready to get back with him. You ready for that
Ready
to
to
be your
get back
man
with him.
again, but you done dirty his name
Popping
so
up at his
much.
house.
Right.
Unexpected.
You done dirty his name so much, now everybody looking at you like you crazy. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So even like you know, in a previous friend group I was in, you know, that used to happen all the time, where, you know, the guys used to be like, oh, Shorty did this, Shorty did that, Shorty did that. You know what I mean? And you gotta really look at it like, but you know what? From what I know about you, come on, I know you could be a little bit of a
Right.
hard
Right.
ass. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I know you could be a little bit of a, you know, X, Y, and Z. I know sometimes your temperament is like this, so, you know, sometimes you gotta take that with a grain of salt. Like, come on, bro, you sure you wasn't? You know what
Right.
I mean?
Exactly.
But then you come off like a friend that's not being
Like
supportive,
you're not
or
on the
you know what I
team.
mean? You're not on the team. But you know what? You gotta value sometimes. You gotta value those people sometimes, because the friend that can tell you what you need to hear instead of what you want to hear,
Right.
that's a friend you gotta keep around.
Right.
You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, tell me what I need to hear, right? Tell me, yo, Jay, you was foul for that,
Yeah.
right? But don't just tell me I'm foul for it because he said I'm foul for it or she said I'm foul for it. Why do you think I'm foul for it?
Yeah.
Give me some context behind that so I can understand. Maybe it's something I'm missing.
Mm-hmm.
Don't come to me with some gossip that you heard from this person, that person, that person. You formulated your opinion, and then now I'm the bad guy
Right.
without talking to me first. Holla at me, talk to me, tell me, yo, did you do X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z? Yeah, I did. Yo, you fouled for that. Well, why? And now we having a dialogue. But don't just hear some
Right.
mess from other people and then come to me and say I'm wrong when you didn't even have one conversation, not
Yeah.
one convo with me.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
It's but at the end of the day,
Uh,
we all gonna ride for our
very
for the
true.
homie, right?
Very
So that's just the natural order of it all. Like
Yeah.
your homeboy or your homegirl can be completely wrong. She's still gonna be like, yo, I'm here for you. Whatever you like,
Right.
you still gonna ride for that person. So that's
Right.
that's just the way it is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you
True.
can't really
But
like
I don't want those type of friends to ride for me, right? But tell me what you
yeah.
when that person came to you and said this about me,
Mhm.
what did you say back?
Right.
Why do they feel comfortable enough to come to you to say this?
Exactly.
Why do they feel comfortable enough to come talk shit to you instead of coming to me
Right.
directly and having a conversation?
Exactly.
So tell me what you said.
Mhm.
That's important to me, right? But I also need the friend that's like, yo, Jay, you was foul. Here's why I think you was foul. You shouldn't have did that. Hey, all right, cool. You know what? I respect that. You right. Maybe that might put me in a different mindset where, damn, you know what? I was kind of wild and foul. Let me go holler. Let me go
Yeah.
talk. You know what I mean? But
Yo, this actually leads me to another thought, man.
talk to me.
You might laugh at me, but I think
All
I'm
right.
on to something here.
All right.
So I think about the advice I give when my friends are going through relationship issues.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I kind of feel like I should be a marriage counselor, bro. I kind
Hey,
of feel like listen, I kind of feel like the advice I be giving out for free.
all right, all
I
right.
kind of feel like I should be a marriage counselor, bro.
Okay, all right. Well,
I'm
you know what?
I'm just saying.
I feel like everybody feels like they give great advice. Everybody feels
The
like they give great
disrespect.
advice until it's them. You know what
But
I
here's the
mean?
thing, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. Sometimes, like even like my married friends, they call me. I'll give them advice. I hang up the phone. I'm like, damn, that was good. Then I'll be like, nigga, like, why can't you follow that advice, right? So
Yeah, yeah. It's easier, it's easier
I'm
said
about to go
than
get my
done,
license.
man.
What I gotta do? Is there a course on YouTube I could take?
You know, they say one of the misconceived notion is that you have to be married to be a marriage counselor. It's good. That might be a prerequisite. You know what I mean? But I don't think it's something that you need to have to be a marriage
Nah,
counselor.
I don't
But
think that's part of the requirements.
it's a
Nah.
good prerequisite, bro. I think that's a good
I
crash
think I'm gonna
course.
Google that to see what I need to do to become a marriage
Yo, you
counselor.
shot
Yeah,
out.
what y'all think? Y'all think I could be a good marriage counselor? I
Ladies,
think I could do it.
Y'all think Shakir could be a marriage counselor,
I think I
ladies?
could do it. I think I could do
All
it.
right, the jury's still out. I mean, me and you, we've had great side conversations. So, you know, you done drop some gems. I done drop some gems with you.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
I think we can probably give you a pass on that, man. All right, so what else? Let me see. What happened? So Nepotism. Let's switch it up. Let's go to sports real quick. Talking about LeBron James, Bronny James. They both playing for the Lakers right now. Bronny James got drafted 55th draft pick.
Congratulations to Bronny James.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I think it's great. And I called it years ago. I remember having a conversation with my friend. I said, yo, when is LeBron going to retire? I said, he's not retiring until he can play at least one season with his son. And here we are. So there's a lot of critics and pundits, online. They're upset that, LeBron James and Bronny James are playing. They felt like Bronny James could have played for a different team. There were other highly touted prospects that the Lakers could have drafted. And they're saying that the only reason why Bronny James is on the Lakers is because of his dad. I personally feel like, while there may be definitely an advantage to having your dad be LeBron James and playing on the Lakers, of course, there's an advantage to that. But I think little homie put in his work, man.
Yeah.
I think he definitely is a great ball player. I think that he put in his time. He has the pedigree, he has the talent to be on the Lakers. And let's face it, there's a lot less skilled players currently in the NBA right now.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
true
So
too.
give the man a break. So the conversation about nepotism is, I feel like it's just unfair because there are businesses that have started family businesses who promote their children over employees who've been there for 20, 30, 40 years. There are organizations and politicians and all type of areas in life where it was advantageous to have a family member in the building to help you come up. So
Right.
why are so many people mad at Bronny and LeBron, you think?
Yo, this answer is very simple and straightforward.
Mm.
My immediate thought, my immediate response is, y'all some hating motherfuckers, right? That's my immediate response. But I'll also say people are upset because you can't do it, right? You're mad because
Crab is in a barrel.
you've been working at this corporation for 5, 10, 15, 20 plus years. You can't get your kid hired there. Just like that, no questions asked, right? You haven't built a business where you can just pull in your kid to take it over and continue to make or earn generational wealth, right? If you could do it, you would do it. And I think that a lot of people are upset because they can't do it. Period. I don't
agree
think
with
it's
that.
I don't even if we say factually that Bronny got drafted only because of LeBron, I don't have an issue with it.
Right.
You know how many coaches and GMs got their kids into the league
Facts.
because they were coaches and GMs?
Yep.
Like, so
I
now
agree, man.
that we have a black man doing it for his son, now we got an issue with it? I think not. So I think it's beautiful. I think it's amazing that where LeBron came from, single parent home, from the hood, that whole story, all the way to being able to pull his kid into the NBA on the team he plays for. That's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah,
And I don't think LeBron gets enough credit for being the dad that he is. Actually, I don't think a lot of guys who are like LeBron get the type of credit. So what I mean by that, I mean LeBron, I mean the Ball brothers, right? Their dad, right?
Yeah,
People were hating on
yeah, man.
They were hating on him hard. Like,
Yeah.
he got all 3 of his sons to the NBA. Like, what are we talking about?
He's
What are you guys mad
great
at?
dad. He did what he was supposed to do.
Right? We talk about people are so up in arms about Deion Sanders and what he does with his kids too. Like, what do you want these guys to be?
They want us to be on the street, bro.
Are their kids not supposed to benefit from what their dads have built, or in LeVar Ball's case, how hard their dads have worked to get them to a certain place?
Right.
So I just think you just a hating ass nigga if you got a problem with it. Period.
And I'm with that.
And you mad because you can't do it.
Period. I definitely agree. I think there's a little bit of everything going on. Like when I listen to all the newscasts that was going on about it, I think about what was the Fox newscaster that just told LeBron to shut up and dribble. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
I think about
that.
her, man.
Yeah.
I think about, man, this definitely an element of just like this element of just racism. Don't want to see another black man do something for
Right.
his
Right.
family. There's an element of just hate. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, let them live, man. Let the kid play. Let's see what he can do. He'll be able to ball on his own merits, but let him do what he need to do. But yeah, the conversation about dads being able to provide for their children. Like, if it was the other way around, if he wasn't doing anything for his kid, if he
Hmm.
was like, you know, not taking care of his
Right.
kid, it'd be a whole different conversation.
Listen,
You know what I mean?
if Bronny never got drafted to the NBA, the conversation would be LeBron couldn't even get his own son in the NBA.
Facts. Or he's not.
Then he'd be
He
getting
not. He
beat down
nothing
for
like
that,
his dad. You know exactly.
right? And then the fact that he got him into the NBA, is the conversation that everyone's having now, right? But then if Bronny doesn't do good in the NBA,
Mhm.
then that's gonna be a whole nother
Yeah.
conversation of people going, it's like,
The point is, you can't
man,
please. You can't. You gotta do it for yourself. Do it for
yeah,
yourself. Do it for your family. You can't please
that's it.
everybody, man.
That's it. I
You
agree.
know,
I
even
agree.
in our regular day to day life, I can think about so many situations where it's just like, damned if you do, damned
Yeah.
if you don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't please people. People gonna have something to say all the time.
True.
When you leave people alone, they mad at you for leaving them alone. When you beating somebody over the head, they mad at you for beating them over the head. So just do what you need to do. Be
Yeah.
your family, take care of your family,
I
and
agree.
move on, man. You know what I
Listen,
mean?
I
But
agree, man.
I think it's dope, though. I think
I
it's
love
dope
it.
that they get to play it together. I think that's a like once in a lifetime. Well, maybe not. Maybe
Yo,
not once in a
can
lifetime,
you
but
imagine?
I think it's dope.
I can only imagine the feeling LeBron is gonna feel when he like, damn, I went from holding this boy in my hand
Word to passing him the
to
rock.
passing him the rock on
Word.
a legendary
Word.
NBA court
Right.
at Staples Center.
One of the
Lost
most
like
historic
what?
teams. You know what I
Bruh.
mean? That's dope. That's dope. I applaud him for that. Good job, fellas.
Yeah,
Good job, bro.
Yeah, I give him
Yeah.
the most props
I'm
for
not
sure.
even a LeBron fan, but I think it's dope.
I'm
The
not
position
a
put him in.
LeBron basketball fan. I am a LeBron story fan for sure,
Totally agree.
100%.
Let me
Yeah.
rephrase that statement. Him, him as a person is a dope person.
I think so.
Super dope business guy.
Yeah.
Like, his business acumen is great.
Yeah.
If you Google him, some of the businesses he's invested in, some of the stuff
Mhm.
he's made money on is dope, right? Him as a player, the whole conversation whether he's better than MJ or not, better
Oh
than
my
Kobe or
God.
not, that just turned the taste in my mouth. It's just like,
That's a waste of a conversation.
yeah, waste of a conversation.
Just really quickly speaking on
Mhm.
that, it blows my mind that people have this GOAT conversation about LeBron and Jordan, and you completely leave out Kobe Bryant. Like, I cannot
That's
understand
the new kids that do that.
how that
Man.
happens.
That's the new kids that do that.
Because I honestly feel like if any two players should be having a GOAT debate, it
Mhm.
should be Jordan and Kobe, not Jordan and LeBron. I get it.
Really?
LeBron's a lot.
Right.
Absolutely. Yo, first of all, on one side they say it's all about championships.
Mhm.
Well, shit, Kobe got 5. What are we talking about?
Mhm.
Jordan got 6. LeBron got what? 4?
4.
So why are we having the GOAT debate about
Right.
Jordan and LeBron? Again,
Yeah.
I like LeBron. But
But
how are we not talking about Kobe Bryant though?
Right. But I think the people who follow basketball and actually follow the players and like pay attention to the details, they're not having a conversation about the championship rings. You know what I mean? Like, that's an easy storyline that's an easy thing to debate. That's why the debate happens so much, because people just pick up on, oh, we have this many rings, we have that many rings. So what? We talking about like the player. What has he done for the sport? Did he change the sport? Did he bring more viewership to the sport? Did he make
I would say all those things about
Right.
Kobe, plus he got 5 rings.
I agree.
So
I agree.
it just blows my
I
mind.
think MJ probably always gonna be the GOAT for me, just for like the era that I grew up in, the things that I seen him do, his backstory, like all the stuff that he was able to do in and off the court. I feel like he's the GOAT, right?
Yeah.
But Kobe definitely comes in a strong second.
Yeah,
man.
I agree.
Strong second. But those are conversations,
Yeah,
man. Those are
for sure.
conversations. So
I agree.
yeah, man. Switching it up a little bit. Let's see. Supreme Court ruling that just came out. So if you guys haven't paid attention, the Supreme Court, which Trump put 3, if I'm not mistaken, 2 or 3 members of the Supreme Court in office during his last presidential run. They made a ruling that the president is basically above the law. He can't be held liable for any unlawful acts while they're in the presidential office, which to me sounds crazy. So you
Yeah,
basically
man.
put, to me, one of the, if Trump was to win, all right, if Trump were to win, I think he's one of the most despic- despicable people on the planet. Like,
Fair.
you got somebody like that running an office, and you put the battery in his back that he can't get in trouble for anything while he's in office. Is crazy to me, bro.
Um,
Crazy. I think it sets a
yeah.
dangerous precedent. He could say whatever he wants. He could rile them up like he did when they stormed the Capitol. He could literally tell them to go shoot. Go
Right.
shoot. He could literally tell them, "Hey, go shoot this person." They go do it, and then Trump wouldn't get in trouble.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me.
Jimmy sells Jersey. 0% small talk, 200% grind. They talk, we hustle. At your service for all your New Jersey real estate needs.
What do you think?
Here's the thing. I think on a serious note, I think that after I get my marriage license, I need to figure out how I can become president. Because I got a couple laws I want to break, a
Well,
couple
you
banks
can.
I want to rob. You know what I mean?
Well, you can.
But
At this point.
yeah, man, it's dangerous for sure. I don't think that has anything to do with the president
Mhm.
and what he does or doesn't do. I think it has everything to do with the powers that be saying, under no circumstances can we ever have a president
Mhm.
imprisoned. I think it has more to do with that than giving him a pass on anything he did while he was in office. I don't think
I
America wants to ever have a record of
a
a
president
current or past or present, present or past president in prison.
in prison.
I think it has everything to do with that.
I think it has. I'm gonna disagree with you a little
Okay.
bit. I definitely think it has everything to do with the actual president. If it wasn't Donald Trump running for
Mhm.
presidency, and if it wasn't him who put 3 Supreme Court justices in office, this wouldn't even be a conversation. It's because he has a lot of stain with the Republican Party, and he has put 3 members in the Supreme Court into the office where he's at now that we're even having. Because if it was Barack Obama,
Nigga be under the jail.
yo, we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
With
If it was
cornrows in
Barack
his head.
Obama, we wouldn't even be having. And not to say
Yeah.
that Barack was like a great president, that he did mad, a lot of things for us.
Right,
No,
right.
we'll take that table off. We'll take that discussion off the table for now. But it has everything to do with it being that president, because we've had 45 presidents prior, and this
Right.
conversation never came up. It's him, bro. It's him and
Okay.
and the
I
and the
can see
strings
that.
that they're pulling behind the scenes that we're not seeing, bro. You know what
But
I
do
mean?
you want friends like that or not?
Maybe a friend like that, but not a president like that, bro. Could you imagine what he's gonna do for the next 4 if he
Yeah,
if he
man, that's gonna be
wins the
it's definitely gonna be crazy. The one thing I will say about Trump being in office, when he was in office, was that him being in office truly showed America's true colors,
facts 100%.
right? So I
The
think
hoods
maybe
came off, bro.
right,
The hoods came
it
off.
came off and went back on at the same
Word.
time. So
Crazy.
we'll
Yeah,
see what
man.
happens in November with the election.
Alright, we got a few more minutes left. Real quick, Ebony K. Williams. All right, she was one of those. Hosts that those pundits that get on the radio and I won't date a man if he's a
Bus
garbage man, a
driver,
bus
something like
driver, this,
that.
that, and the
Yeah,
third. I'd rather be single. I'd rather do this, that, and the third. And she announced that she's pregnant, and she's not. I don't believe she's with the child's father. So, do you think people like her are like championing women to be single and stay single and then like live single parent households?
I think not only does she not know the child's father, so she got pregnant by a donation, a sperm donation, right? So you are literally signing up for single parenthood, right? And the statistics clearly show that a child does 10 times better when they have a father in their life, right? I think she's championing this idea that I don't need a man. She's championing this idea that we don't need men in our lives, right? And there are a lot of women who are going to take this route. Now, to some degree, I can understand it. I think it is a little hard out here for the women to date. I'm not,
Okay.
you
That's
know,
fair.
ignoring that at all, right? But when you purposely a struggle of being single and you can't find a man versus a struggle of intentionally volunteering to be a single parent, those are two different struggles.
Right.
And they have and one produces a struggle that involves another human being. So I don't really know what to say. It's mind blowing.
It's all good, man. So we're gonna pick up on that on the next episode.
Gotcha.
Our time is definitely running short here. So takeaways. All right. You wanna go?
I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you start. I always let you start.
Takeaways, man. I don't know. We covered a lot of topics today. I think a takeaway for me is going to be protect your energy. You know what I mean? Protect your energy. Be careful who you allow in your space. Be careful who you allow to paint your character. Be careful who you allow to mess with your spirit and your mental and your emotional. You know what I mean? Protect your energy. If they don't need to be around, don't have them around. You know what I mean? It's about your life is about you. So live, love, laugh, keep it moving.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
What about you?
My takeaway is going to be I think that as a man you have to learn how to stand on your square, be grounded in your morals regardless of what anyone has to say about you, your character. I think that my takeaway is also going to be I got something I want to say, but I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna be a decent human being today.
We save it for the next one.
I don't know if I think I'm just gonna let this one go in the galaxy. But
Alright.
yeah, I think that when it's time to leave a relationship, you leave it and you move on according to how you see fit, and that's it. That's it.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Got more episodes. Don't forget, follow us on YouTube, Instagram, iHeartRadio, all major podcast platforms. Hit us up with some questions. Send some DMs. Send some questions if you want us to talk about, discuss. If you want to be on the show, give us a little shot. info@nomistakespodcast.com. All right?
That's what's up.
No mistakes. We out.
Peace.
Stop playing with him.